What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope y'all are having a great day. For today's video, I want to talk about the New York Giants and what should they do with the 11th overall pick in this year's draft. Let's get into it. So obviously the Giants have been back and forth the last few years, kind of close to the playoffs, kind of not, falling in, falling out. You know, they've been in that kind of realm of area. And they've obviously had their disappointments with injuries with Saquon Barkley, their wide receivers, a tight end. You know, they've had a lot of injury problems that led them to that point. Even this year, they finished at a good spot. It was just a little 1-2 games behind the Washington football team, and they barely missed out. But, you know, they had a lot of injuries, so you can look at that as a positive, like that team did that good without the players. So moving into next year with the 11th pick the Giants will have, are they going to go for a defensive pick or an offensive pick? That's kind of the situation and the dilemma that they're in right now. Should they go with a wide receiver? Should they go with a linebacker? Should they go with a corner? You know, who knows? There's a lot of options they can have. It's just my pick for them. I think they should pick a wide receiver if available. If one of the top 3-4 receivers are available, definitely draft in the first round a wide receiver. But if the top 3 or 4 are not available at the 11th pick, just wait for the second, third round, because these wide receivers in this draft go deep. They're like 20, 30 deep, and they're really good. So you're going to have a lot of talent at the wide receiver position. Linebacker, I don't really think they need a linebacker, but if they were to, it'd be Micah Parsons. If available, the linebacker out of Penn State, he could play like Isaiah Simmons, or, you know, a person, he's long, tall. He can play a lot of positions at the linebacker. He can cover a lot of positions at the linebacker position, and you know, I do think he's a great fit for their team. I don't think it's their major need for the Giants. I don't think they really need a linebacker. I think their main need is corner and wide receiver. But you know, who knows what direction they'll go in. Obviously, they lost Gallman in this offseason. They need a backup running back, so who could they get for that? But obviously, their main need, they need a starting wide receiver that could definitely be their number one, and it's just, can they get there? Will there be a lot of wide receiver picks before them, or will it be a lot after them? That's what they got to look at. They have Evan Ingram, obviously, Saquon Barkley. They just need people that can help Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones he's on this year, make it or break it. Either he proves it this year or he doesn't. If he doesn't do well this year, he's probably going to be out the door, and they're going to have a new quarterback in there next year. Do I think he can get it done? I don't think Daniel Jones has shown me anything to where he can be elite in the NFL yet. Maybe he will this year. You know, he's on that third, fourth year where normally you got to show what you're made of. So he was a high pick. We've got to see it out of him this year. If you're a Giants fan, you need to see something great out of this guy this year. That's why you need to draft a wide receiver or a weapon that can help him out this year to prove that he can make it in the NFL. So yeah, with the 11th pick, I do think they should definitely draft someone. If they trade back, I don't think anyone really wants to trade up for the 11th pick. So I don't think that's really their big concern. I think they need to draft someone. It's just, are they going to draft an offensive player or a defensive player? That's the dilemma that they have to deal with in the Giants front office. And who can really help their team the most? Who's going to be the best available draft pick at the number 11 spot? Either Micah Parsons, a great wide receiver, or, you know, J.C. Horn, cornerback. I mean, anyone at that position that they need, you got to grab them. Even an offensive lineman, you know, there's a couple great offensive linemen in the draft this year. Will people draft them before them, or will they let them fall to them? And if they fall to the 11th spot for the Giants, I mean, you should grab one of those offensive linemen. Those are obviously very valuable pieces to have on an offense. So, you know, going forward, the Giants, I think, can have a decent percentage of making the playoffs next year, dealing with they're in the worst division in football. They just need to improve. Their defense is great. It's their offense. They need to get more firepower, and they'll be a great team next year. So if you're a Giants fan, comment down below, what should your team do with the 11th overall pick? Should you draft someone like a wide receiver, lineman, anything like that? Or should you trade back? You know, let me know about that. And other than that, be sure to like this video and subscribe. Peace.